is good. The chat is empty. So I have a little pop out of the chat here. So that's actually going on to my second screen. Hello, Sweden man. And let's fire up Lego Digital Designer. So, for those of you who have watched the last update, this is what you'll have seen, and I've pretty much finished a good portion of the boiler work and everything else. The last remaining thing are the sand domes, which are the outer two, or the outermost domes, and then you've also got the central steam dome. But I'm actually going to leave work on the Lego for another day. It's not sort of seat's actually fairly good in terms of the profile. The headlight here, I'm not that pleased about. Could do some work. For now, it's just standing. It looks reasonably okay, but it does definitely need a lot more work to get a bit more sort of to scale, because it doesn't actually stick out that far at all. Could have been a lot shorter, but that's the best I can do for now. So I'm actually going to start work on the tender. So I previously did a little bit of work already on the tender, sort of to get these sort of designs in. So this is not going to work. So in actual fact, it's gone. So this is what I've got so far. So we are looking at a 6 stud long section here. So I'll just add another brick to that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bricks high there, and it actually ties in to 6 studs mounted vertically, so snot if you like. And why might I be doing this? Well, this is actually for the tender, and that's pretty much all I'm going to be working on today in this stream. So we have the tender as it currently stands. This is actually going to be changed slightly. So these are the end of the tender at the moment. So we have the footsteps here, or the footboard, as it should be called. So from that perspective, I'm just going to research here. There we go, and I'll move this over so I can shrink that, move that there. So you can sort of see we have a copy of the footboards here. Obviously there is supposed to be another step, and these are a bit closer, this outer edge. How long? I'm probably going to say half an hour-ish, Sweden man. I'm not entirely too sure. It depends on how far I get. I kind of want to get the tender mostly complete in one stream, so I'll be working reasonably quickly. So obviously we have the footboards, and that's the one thing. So if I go back to the design here, you can sort of see that these are kind of a bit inbound to where they should be, but nevertheless, it's on to focus on the Lego. Well, the actual tender. So the first thing to notice, there's actually a bit of an instep as well for the tender frame. So the tender body is flush with the logo, but actually stepped in on the frame. So how long? Let's have a check. Oh, 8 bricks. 10. 10, 10, 10. We're looking at 63 studs at the moment, but that obviously includes a rather long tender bar, which may be changed out. So at the moment it's 63, possibly 64, but that depends on couplings and that sort of stuff as well. So probably will shrink over time from that 65, especially in the tender area, because obviously there's an absolutely huge gap at the moment, and that doesn't really need to be that long. Right, so the tender. So obviously we have a little instep there. We have the gold bunker. Now the gold bunker is going to be interesting, but I do have a design for that. So I'll have some thoughts on that. So if I can find the battery box, which is here. So here we have your pretty much standard battery box here, and I'm actually going to add 2 headlight bricks to it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oh, that's a good reminder actually, put a 6 wide brick there to scale it. So I'm going for, if I can remember where they are, there. So first things first is to actually do the handrail. So I'm actually going to put that there and put another one there. So we're looking for that one. Like that. Helpfully, Facebook has decided to pop up something, so I'm going to actually go and tell it to shut off. Mute for 2 hours. Save. There. Thank you, Facebook. Right. So the other thing is I need another photo of the Y3's tender. So I'm just going to nip to Google a second. Images. Y3. So this is the Y3, so looking for side sort of view. And there's nothing else compared to what I can find already. So if I go back to this image and I'll shrink that down a bit. So it's actually this image here. So this actually gives us pretty much what I need, which is the sort of scale length. So obviously we're looking at just behind the first axle box, and then roughly just above the H, or roughly in the middle. So if we go to this, I'll just save the changes. So this is what I've got for the tender so far. I do believe this is roughly to scale. You can sort of see that the tender is pretty much almost the full length of the loco, and I think I sort of settled on this sort of scale. So it's pretty, I think it was pretty much bang on for scale. Unfortunately, trying to find something where it's actually said the sort of scale lengths of some of this stuff was really hard. So I'm just actually going to fill that in there, fill that in there, and then I'll leave it at that for now. So go back to the image, we're looking to match up there, and the height I have for between the cab window and the bottom of the floor is actually just 2 bricks. So you can sort of see there's the 1x4 there, and then there's 3 plates there to make a full brick, because the one plate's actually a 2x3, so it actually dips in. So we're looking at 4 bricks in total for the main tender body. So the other thing to bear in mind is that it's actually got, the actual frame actually juts out slightly further. So what I will do is we can actually increase this slightly. So I can put that in like that to brace. I can put that in like that. Close that off. Actual fats. Do you know what? Let's rebuild the end here. Let's start it off properly. We're looking for 6x8. So I can actually take that off. Do that. So oh, no. Helpful. So it actually can go further in. So I'm just going to hide those two and put that on like that. So we're looking for about like that. There we go. That's a bit better. So we can unhide those and then we get back to that. So we're going to use. We need. This is the big question now. It's actually scaling it into the length. So we need a 2 gap there, and then need another one there. So I actually need an L. So in actual fact, you know what? Let's actually do this properly. We're actually going to go for 2 by 2 tiles. And see on the end of the tunnel we actually have the sort of like grab iron. So it's going to fit that in there as well. So we're actually going to use these vertical clips and actually put one there and put one there, and then we're going to represent the actual bar for now with some flex tube. 48's not long enough. That'll do. I don't think there is actually any central one for that. I don't think I've got any other pictures of the tender, so no, that's the only one, and I can only see the outer ends. In actual fact, I think that's, yes, there's actually little points on the tender. Yeah, so that's it. So it's just 2 points on the ends to hold it in, and job done. So any other thing we're going to need to finish that bit off is actually to put a tile underneath, like that, and then I can change to black and go like that, and then that's part of the tender done, just like that. So we're going to need to fit in that there. So we're going to go for a 4 brick high tender, so we can actually scale that down. And actual fact, from the test piece here, I can actually take out that, move that down, and you can sort of see, missed a bit, took a bit too far down, so if I do that, put that up there, we're going to put another 1 by 2 there, and I'm looking for that, yep, put that in there, and then for that, is there another 1 by 1 there, like that, and they're roughly in line, but once you bear in mind we're actually going to lose a bit of that as well, so I do need to be a bit careful. So fit that in there, and actually begin transferring this over. So let's have a look at the frame, because this is the more important part. I need to get everything else scaling in correctly as well. So what's the biggest 4 by 8? Yeah, they do 12. So I'm actually going to put one of those in there like that, and should have another one of those the opposite side like that. Then we just need a 2 by 8 like that to fill that in, and I'm going to whack out those as well like that. So I'm actually going to check that. So yep, so in actual fact that's actually wrong. Use 6 by 6 because we're actually going to use that for the actual body, so that's actually wrong. That can get rid of. We're actually going to shrink those up, so we'll actually focus on just using 6 wide plates. So that's actually get rid of that a second. So we use 6 by 10 for the end here. Actually you can't. You're going to have to use this like that to get the ends in, so it's going to be a bit fragile. unfortunately. Just trying to think. 4x8 I think I'll have to go in there, and that will support the end pretty much like that. I'll need to use a 1x4 there and 1x4 there, and that gives the nice look to it. And I have a little there, so I could do with finding out once we've got 6x6, yeah, we've got 6x16 there. Actually cram that in just there like that. That'll actually give us a nice solid base because it pretty much just fills the entire tender. So the other thing I need to do is I need to start adding a 2 stud wide lip onto here to facilitate the construction of the tender body. So I'll actually fit that on there, fit that on like that. Now obviously there is a bit of an issue there because that's touching on that, that's pulling on that, so that should be okay, I believe. So I'm just going to increase that slightly, so I'm going to use a 4x6, and that should just help anchor the rear of the tender together a bit more. So I can actually now fill all that in on black, like that. I'll fill in the centre spine as well. So the centre spine could actually do with a bit more work and just padding it out a bit, but I'm going to leave that for another day for the moment, because obviously the issue is that the tender sort of the bogies for the tender, for the end one especially, has this sort of awkward bit where I've had to mount the footboards to it to get the swivel. So obviously that is a bit of an issue with that, so obviously I can't go too far back in putting in some more of the main sort of like spine of the tender. I'm just going to have to be careful about that because of bogey pivots. I can fit that in black as well to change that. So we can now begin on copying the sort of design over. So I sort of said it was about 4 bricks high. It's got to match the height of the of the loco. So I'm going to start by finding my favourite, the 1x6, and I'm going to start stacking these up to a height of about 3, because we're already above the height of the thing. So I'm going to consult a good old image here. So obviously there's a bit of a height discrepancy. So yeah, that is just below the windows. Now obviously the other issue is that the loco doesn't actually have flanges on the wheels, so obviously that won't help as the tender does. So the locos actually should be about a brick higher, I'd have thought, to keep them evenly matched. Maybe a couple of plates. So I've put a brick in. So if I do that, that should raise, and then okay, so then okay, there's number 1. We can't do that because some of the loco isn't actually fixed. So I'm going to have to do that. And do that. I'll actually do that. So that will have to do for now. And we're actually almost aligned in terms of the tender bar, in terms of height, so let's leave that for now. So we have our tender, and I need to start, I'll put on the curved end, so I'd say that's kind of a bit more aligned now. Actual fat, it is quite prominent. Yeah, I just said 2 plates in height for the frame and start on the main body. It looks like it's actually curved at the front as well. and this is actually a design for it, so yeah, there's a bit of a curve at the front as well, from the looks of that. Fortunately, it's the one issue. Yeah, this is, yeah, it looks like it's curved at the front. Joy, twice the work to get that sorted. So I'm going to, just trying to think which is easiest. I'll actually start doing this. So we have 2 and that. So I'm going to see. There, so that's 3. That should do, I think. I can always add extra later, so I'm going to use the arch brick. And then we go 1, 2, 3. Find our little friend the tile. And fit him in like that. There we go. Now there is probably going to be a gap, which I'm not going to be happy with, but such as it is. Yeah, awkward space. Oh, hey, it's Mr. Holland himself. Hello, sir. So we've actually got the start of the tender. That is annoying. It's like half a plate of height discrepancy as well, which is the most annoying thing. So I'm half tempted just to say that'll have to be skipped unless there's a way of doing it. I actually have an idea, so I'll save that. There is actually a way I can do this without actually screwing it up, and that is to side mount the top of the tender. So I'll copy that in, and I'll actually change that to so that's the next aspect. It's going to be changing that to 1 by 2, changing that to 1 by 8, like that, and then going 1 by 6, 1 by 6, like that. Problem solved. We have the height of the tender. It's in line with the window of the cab pretty much, and you have this nice sort of height there. So that actually is the brackets. I could, but unfortunately, Glenn, it's on a curve. So there is a bit of an issue with that, but this I think is going to be the easiest of solutions, and it also then means I can actually do a flush for the tender. I don't think there's a photo here. No, there isn't. So if I go to there, I don't think I can actually find a good example. There we go. And I'm probably going to get flack for using this image. Oh. There should be a thing. Almost there. New tab. Right, so if I save image as live research here, folks. Save that there. I'll close that off, close that off, close that off, and then if I go to model, save that, just bring the chat back up. There is actually an image, and don't know whether it'll actually pick it up. I don't think it has. It's actually looping through them now. That is something I didn't have before. So I actually found this on the internet, so just minimize that. And this is actually a Lionel tender, so I think it's coarse O scale. Well, you can actually sort of see that there's a very tiny little lip, which in terms of scale, terms of Lego, is not that great. But I think this is going to be roughly a copy of what's on the actual tender, so I'm not going to be too bothered about that lip. So I'm pretty much going to build it out as is from here. The biggest issue now is actually doing the same as we've done for the rest of the tender for the front of the tender. So I just need to start with this. So we need 4x6. So we start with the 4x6. Strip these off because we know we're reaching the height length of that. The big issue is that we got a little bit of a step there, so we actually need to take a note that we need to do the same as this end. So copy the two tiles, and those actually go in there. And there's actually a higher bit there for a step. So I'm actually yeah, that's not going to be the easiest of things to do right now, but that's not too much of a concern. So I'll just copy that in. So we're filling it in, same as before. So we've got some anchorage in. Black out those. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. So I'll fit that in there. We'll fit that in like that. Black out those two and do a save. Right, so now we can actually start packing this out. So we go for 1x8, 1x8, and then a 1x4, and delete that, and then we go for the opposite in plates. So 1x4, 1x8. And then 1x8, and then we go for 1x8 tile, and like that. We just need to fill out the top of the tender as well using a similar technique. So if I do a pinch of 1x12 here. Fortunately, there we go. Fortunately, Lego Digital Design doesn't always work properly, and I've found it's often because it's something to do with the fact you haven't saved recently. So it could be to do with that. And then what we do is go like that. Copy those, flip, and rotate. By 2's there. Just need to change that to a 1x8 like that. Then I can actually change that to 1x8 there. I'll change that to 1x6. I think we'll just need to copy that and to fill that in, and there you have it. we have the top of the tender all the way down. I'm actually going to do the same for the opposite side now, so I know that is what I need to fill that in. Let's copy the 1 by 3. And then it's just a matter of copying and pasting that to the opposite side. For now at least anyway. That, moving that to there, and then what I can do is turn that off because that's the alarm, and then copy that, and then do a massive copy on that, and then flip that 180, and in it goes. And copy those two, flip, do that, and then copy that, copy that, copy that, copy that, copy that, copy that, copy, and then infill like that, and voila, copied the tender side. Why do you have the engine raised up on blocks? That's actually a good question, Glenn. That's actually because the wheels on the Loco don't actually have flanges, so they're actually not the same height as the wheels on the tender. Because obviously there is no, there's only the sort of like the standard wheel size and the Emerald Knight size wheels, but there's nothing in between. So I'm using these as a stand-in for now, because I've also got the Technical, so I can do a simulation of a valve gear at the moment. So that's it for now. So that's why they're on that, and it also means that they're actually roughly matching heights as well. As far as I'm concerned for that. Obviously it's not 100%, but it's as close as I can get with that, resulting to actually trying to import my own shapes. So just trying to think, so no, that's not the same height, unfortunately. Yeah. So I'm just trying to think what else. Then I'm trying to see what else I need to do. So I'll save that. So that's pretty much okay as far as I see. So actually losing some space there. Difficult. Actually, do you know what I'm thinking? Move those back a bit. Make those in a brick. And that brick should, if I hide that, yep, cool. So as a temporary measure, I'm going to move those back there, and then copy that over like that, and then I just take out the paintbrush. Like so. Oh, hi James. And then we fill in like that. And that is there. I'll fill in the inner layer as well, like that, and leave the outer two. I'll save that like that, and then the biggest issue is going to be battery. Actually, we'll do that next. So research, not that one. Get that up. So coming back to this image, we can sort of see it's roughly half the length. So I need to move this to there, as I said, because that's not blocking off, not going roughly up to halfway, and it's still leaving plenty of room to stick the front coal sort of cupboard in, as you can see from that tiny little bit that's shaping up there. So I'll actually do a quick tile copy. So if I do that, no, if I think what it was I was trying to do. Oh yeah, so if I do that and then do that and then that, because the height of the hopper roughly matches the height of the cab window. So I'll then move that, delete that, move that down to there, and then just need to change that. Need to move that in and change that to a 2x8 tile. Like that, and do the same with that. So delete that, move that onto there, delete that, copy that over to there, and copy that over to there. And that's actually roughly how I'm actually going to do the tender. So the battery box actually is pretty much most of the coal load, and it actually uses snot to actually pack up a sort of line up there. So that's going to be another interesting sort of time to get that filled in, but made some quite good progress today, I think. So I'm actually going to delete the original tender stand example and delete that as well. I can save the model there. So that is how long a stream? 38 minutes. So almost 40 minutes there, and we've actually added the rear guard or handrail, done the tender sides, and actually got the tender roughly into place in terms of heights of everything else. So I think I'm going to leave the stream there. So obviously we got the battery box in roughly in place, and we've obviously got the start of the handrail. So I think the next time we're going to do any streaming on this is probably going to be the weekend. We've got a few other things to do in the meantime, so that's it for this little bit of progress. So we've actually got started the tender for our steam engine, so it's a bit more work done, and I do believe that's it. So that's it from me for now, and you'll see some more progress on this coming up. I just said this weekend, if I've not done some more to it already. I think the domes are going to be annoying me in that bright yellow colour saying I need attention. So I'm going to end the stream there. So that's it from me for now, and see you later.